I'm Matt, I'm one of BALTIC's artists, and I'm going to give you some ideas about some artwork you can make at home. The galleries are closed at the moment, and I like these workshops to relate to the exhibitions that are on at BALTIC. So I've asked really nicely, and they've let me come into the gallery here on level 4 to show you some of my favourite work, which is on right now, which you'll be able to see when the galleries open again. And this is an exhibition by Huma Bhabha. Huma Bhabha is an American artist who was born and raised in Pakistan. What I really love about these sculptures is that they've got loads of character, even though they started off often as throwaway materials. So this one behind me, the head is made of polystyrene originally, and it's just painted quite roughly with paint, and it's been carved. This one here is quite spooky, but it's really just one piece of polystyrene with a face painted on it. It's from the back of an old washing machine or something, the packing from a washing machine. And then afterwards the artist has cast that in bronze. So that's really heavy, even though it looks really light. It's difficult not to take these things seriously as characters kind of looking at you, or kind of standing here thinking about stuff. In my other job, I'm one of the technicians at BALTIC who unpacks the artworks and places them here in the galleries. And I was lucky to work on this exhibition. And as soon as these characters were out of their crates and uprights and in the gallery, it seemed to me that they were living here with us as we worked. And I have to tell you that sometimes, when I'm at home, sometimes I think of these characters here on their own in the gallery, especially as it's closed, nobody's looking at them, and I kind of can't help wondering how they feel. This sculpture is two boxes stacked on top of each other. This one kind of has think of this like a sad robot. Some of these have been made of materials that are put together. So there's some polystyrene here and there's some clay. It looks like the clay has been put on top of some chicken wire that holds it there. And the base seems to be just made of bits of wood that haven't been particularly carefully chosen. They're just they've been chosen, they haven't been cut, you know what I mean. Here's another one that's made out of polystyrene boxes, and the artist has put some hands, can you see those down here? And a head at the top, made of clay, stuck to chicken wire. So think about your teddies, or your model dinosaurs, or your Lego people, or your dolls. Can we really say that they're just bits of plastic and fluff? No, of course not. Of course they're not. It's just natural how we are as people. We just put characters into things. So, just like Dr. Frankenstein in the old story, we're going to go away, make some art, and we're going to breathe some life into some lifeless materials. I think we better go. I'm not sure these characters like being talked about this much. Hi, I'm back at home, and I've been collecting this polystyrene for weeks. I've been asking my friends if they've bought any stuff that comes in polystyrene packaging, and what we're going to do is we're going to make some figures out of this polystyrene in the style of Huma Bhabha. I'll show you what I've got. We've got these polystyrene shapes. I've got another material I've got is some cardboard packaging. Slightly more environmentally friendly stuff. Look at that, an egg box even made its way in there. And I've got some paint. You're going to need your grown-up support for this. The reason being, there's two reasons. First reason is I think we're going to make a mess. The second reason is to cut this polystyrene, we need a bread knife. You're going to be operating this bread knife, or you're going to be asking your grown-up to operate the bread knife, but you need their help. The other tool I've got is a cheese grater. That's going to put polystyrene bits all over the house. So later on, an important tool will be the Hoover. In our house, we've got this little grater which is for grating parmesan onto your pasta. That might be coming useful. I've got brushes. I have some sticky tape in case the glue doesn't work. And that's about it. Hello. Sorry, the volume was turned down. Okay, I'll stop messing around. I've reorganised my space a little bit. I've taken off my scarf as well because I was getting a bit hot. I have to tell you that there's not a lot I can teach you here. Once you've got a space, once you've got a pile of polystyrene, and once if you've got all the things you need and a little bit of time ahead of you, really the activity speaks for itself. You just build. There's one piece of advice I will give, which is to look carefully at the pieces and ask yourself, what is it about this piece which might lend itself to making a particular thing? So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, on a big sculpture, this might make a good kind of a leg or something. And I think I've got another one the same. See what I mean? These might make legs. Or this one here already has a kind of to me that's almost a character already, with eyes. That's basically a thing, isn't it? That's a little creature right there. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a look at these. I'm going to make a plan, and then I'm going to come back and put the camera on, and we'll do one or two construction ideas and one or two, we'll try the paint out and things like that. Okay. So if you want to think like a sculptor, you've got to think a nose on somebody's face. You might think of it as something that sticks out of the face. But you could also think that the eyes are something that is cut out of the face. So I got this piece which is thickish, and again, cutting very safely. I thought, well, I'm gonna hollow out the eyes, and that's gonna give me a nose. I'll show you what I mean now. And I'm always trying to cut down, away from my fingers, into a stable place. I'm not pushing down very hard, but I'm gripping my piece as hard as I can, because I don't want things to slip. when I'm cutting. Plop, 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 plop. Plop, 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 plop. There we go. Now, it's not quite right because it doesn't have a space for putting a mouth or the bottom of a head. Or does it? Has. Oh, look at that. I gave it a smile. I couldn't resist. I promised myself I wouldn't make smiles, but there you go, I'd have done. Cut the corners off this, and I thought this is not going to stand up. So what I did was I cut one end off, thinking that would make a nice base, and I would put my head on there like that. But then I realised I had no idea how to fix that to there. You see? So I thought, I know what I'll do. Turn this upside down and jam this into the hole. I really like that. So what I'm going to do is I figured out another way to make it stand up, which is to glue a piece of cardboard to the bottom, because the cardboard and cardboard will stick nicely together. So I'm beginning to feel quite pleased with this. It looks, it has a kind of like a Egyptian mummy kind of feel to it, which I like. It has a kind of proudness of which some of the Huma Bhabha sculptures have as well. But I want to show you another couple of techniques, especially carving with the cheese grater, because that's fun. So I'm going to make some arms. So I want this to be the shape of the arm, but I want to flatten this here, yeah? I also want to cut there. And I want to round off some of these edges here. So I'll cut it first. And now my grater is going to come in useful. I'm going to shave that bit there. And I'm going to sculpt the edges to make them, to round them off. Oops. There we go. Now I just have to make another one. To attach these arms, I'm going to make holes. I'm going to make a hole in the side. This is just a pencil. I'm going to take this stick. It's like a, I don't know what it is. If you've got a kebab stick at home, that would be ideal. That would be even better than this one. And then I'm going to try and put this on there. Make a little starter hole for it to go into, I think. There we have it. Bye bye.